Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to build a beautiful game which is XN0 or Tic Tac Toe using tkinter library in Python programming. So the main concept in this video we are going to cover is we will learn how to create buttons and how to display X and zeros on this and also display a message if the game is over, if X wins or 0 wins, and we'll see how to write the logic of this game in very efficient way. So before any further ado, let's get started. So first we will start by importing the tkinter library. So we'll write import tkinter as tk. Tk is just a short form we are using for tkinter. So we don't have to write the name again and again. First we'll create a window. So we'll create window variable and we'll write tk.tk, where the small tk is this reference name and this capital Tk, I mean T small and T capital and K small, is a class inside this library which will help us to create a window, and will create a main loop so the program will run continuously. Now when we execute, we'll get a window. This is the default size of the window in tkinter. You can change if you want, we'll change it. Step number 1 is to change the name of this window, which is tk. I want to give name Tic Tac Toe Game, so I'll write window dot title Tic Tac Toe Game. As you can see, the window is small, therefore the name is overlapping. If we maximize, we can see Tic Tac Toe Game written over here on the top left. Now, before building the project, first let us understand the grid system. The Tic Tac Toe, the XN0 game, has total 9 buttons. You will label them as B1 to B9. So B1, B2, B3 will be row 1, B4, B5, B6 will be row 2nd, and B7, B8, B9 will be row 3. Now, if we see over here, this B1, what is the location of this B1? The location of B1 is 0, 0. Here we have total 3 rows and 3 columns. Okay, so the row start with 0, row starts with 0, 1 and 2nd, and columns also start with 0, 1st and 2nd. So location of B1 will be 0, 0. Location of B2 will be row 0 and column 1. Location of B6 will be row 2nd and column 3. Alright. Let us first make a single button and place it so we will get it more clear. So I'll write B1 is just a variable name equals to tk dot button B capital. Let's give a text. Now text will be empty initially because in xn0 or tic-tac-toe, user will write xn0. Okay, so it will be empty. We'll give font. I use Helvetica. You can use Arial, Italic, Times New Roman, any you want. And let's give size of 20. Next we have to give height and width. So let's give height of 6 pixels and width of 3 pixels. And we have to place the button. To place the button, we'll use grid system. So b1 dot grid. So b1 is on row 0 and column 0. Let us execute and see what we get. So this is the button, you can see, which is clickable. I guess we have to interchange the height and width because the height is very long. What we'll do is we'll make height 3 and width 6. Okay, this is button number 1. Similarly, what we'll do is we have to create 9 buttons. I'll copy B1 and paste it 8 times. And now we just have to change the name of these buttons. So B2, B3, B4, B5, B6, B7, B8 and B9. Now when I execute, there will be still only one button over here because we have to place the remaining 8 buttons. This program is going to be a little bit lengthy. So we'll copy. First we'll place only 3 buttons. Change B1 to B2 and B1 to B3. So B1 will be row 0, column 0. B2 will be B2 will be row 0 and column 1, and B3 will be row 0 and column number second. So B2 is row 0, column 1, and this one is column second. Now when we execute, we will get our 3 buttons. Alright, let's copy this 3 and paste and build our remaining 6 button. B4, B5, B6 and B7, B8, B9. Now the row for this, now this is second row, right? So we'll change it to 1 and remaining location will be same. This will be second row. I hope this is clear. When we execute, we have our 6 buttons. The layout is clear to us now and we have built the grid. Now next task is when the user clicks, it should display X on the button. And when the user clicks second time, it should display 0. So it is alternating. First X, then 0. First X and 0. So what logic we can build over here? So for this, what we can do is first we have to activate these buttons. Okay. Like we have to tell the button that when it is clicked, we have to display something. So let's create a def, which is function name bclick. Bclick means button click and pass b over here. For now, I'll just pass through it so we don't get any error. Now to activate this button, we have to give a command using a lambda function. So lambda is just a function only, but it's an anonymous, like a nameless function. Okay? So we'll write b click and we'll pass b1. Why b1? Because it is button b1. Similarly, we just have to copy. So what this will do, it will find for bclick function which is over here, and b1 will pass through it and will write the logic over here to display x or 0. Okay, as simple as that. Paste. Just have to change the numbers again. p2, p3, p4, p5, p6, p7, p8 and b9. When we execute, it should be, there should be no error. All right, yeah, clear. Now to write the logic, what I will do is initially I'll create a variable over here, name clicked. So okay, so what we'll do is first X should start the game. Okay, so we'll use boolean. Boolean means true or false. So if X starts, then clicked will be true. So I'm creating a variable name clicked and I'm assigning a boolean, true to it. So when X starts, it should be true. And we also track the count because in total there are 9 buttons. There should be only 9 moves. As soon as the moves are over, count is equals to 9, the game is over. Okay, so I have to target this text over here. All right, the button text. So if my b text, why b? Because this b click b1 is going inside b. Therefore if b which text is equal to empty, if it is empty and my variable name clicked is equals to it should be true, right? Then I have to change this text from empty, not empty to X. So we'll copy it equals to X. And as soon as it is equals to X, we'll change our variable to false. So now we know that next should be true. Now I am getting an error over here. The error is because this clicked variable is outside this function. This is a global variable. Okay, so it will not work over here. So I have to declare it again. Global clicked comma count. Now when I execute, so as you can see, the condition is that button should be empty, buttons are empty, and click should be true. Yes, my click is initially true. So when it satisfies, it will print X. Okay. Now when I click again, it will not print anything because when I clicked once, I have changed it to X and I have also assigned a variable. I have changed the variable clicked to false from the true. So now it is false. So I have not given any condition that when it is false, it should print 0. So what we'll do is we'll copy, paste. So if text is empty and if clicked equals to false, it should be 0. And again we'll change from false to true. So it will be in a loop continuously. So when it is empty and when the variable is this one, so it should be X. Now the variable is false. So it is empty and if it is false, it should be 0. Now true. False, true, false, true, false, true, false. Okay. Now we have to also increase the count so we can keep the track of the move. So when it is clicked, we just have to increase count by 1. And we'll again increase over here. Alright. Now next, what is our task? Our task is to decide how the user will win. There will be two players playing the game. Either X will win or 0 will win. I hope we all know the rules, right? So when X aligns in a particular row or particular column or diagonally, the user wins. So it can be this one, it can be second row, or it can be third row, or it can be column 1, column 2, column 3, or it can be diagonal this one and diagonal this one. So for X in total we have 3 rows, 3 columns and 2 diagonals, 8 conditions, and similarly for 0 we have to write again all the 8 conditions. Okay, so in total we have going to write 16 conditions. We will write it once and then we'll copy paste simply. So when the user will win, so let's take an example of row 1. If b1 is equals to x and b2 equals to x and b3 equals to x, then the user wins. Alright, let's code. So when we are going to check that user is winning, we will check after each click. So let's create a function name check who won. Okay, and we'll check it after each click. So over here we'll create a function def check who won. Okay, now what we can do is first condition will be if my b1, okay, if my b1 text is equals to x and b2 text equal to x and b3, this is row 1. Okay, I hope you can imagine this. Then what I want to do is I want to change the color. I want to change that row to green, declaring that the user has won by this row. So we have to change the color of b1, b2, b3 button. So we'll write b1 dot config BG stands for background equals to, will change it to green. Simple. Paste. B2, B3. Execute. Let's play this game. So X 0, X 0, X. So as you can see, as soon as this condition satisfies, B1 equals to X, B2 equals to X, and B3 equals to X, will change the color to green. I want to also display a message that X has won the game. So we'll import a library from tkinter import messagebox. So messagebox dot show info. Let's give a title like the name of the window. So title equals to Tic Tac Toe. And what message you want to display? I want to display X1. Again execute. Okay, so Tic Tac Toe is my title and X won the game. Now we'll do it for row 2, row 3, column 1, column 2, column 3, diagonal 1, diagonal 2. Okay. The second row will be, instead of if, now we have to use elif. Instead of B1, so B1, B2, B3, here we have B4, B5, B6, B4, B5 and B6. Again copy, make it for third row. So 7, 8, 9. First let us test all the 3 rows if they are working on X. It's working. Now column. So column will be B1, B4 and B7. Then B2, B5 and B8. Then B3, B6 and B9. Simple. Okay. So it is B1, B4 and B7. 1, 4, 7. Next will be with B2, B5, B8. The last one be B3, B6, B9. So let us now do for diagonals. For diagonals it will be B1, B5, B9 and B2, sorry, B3, B7 and B5. A bit lengthy, but it will be worth it at the end. So B1, B5 and B9. We have B3, B5 again, B7. Let us test the diagonal ones if they are working. So yes, it is working. Oops. Play it again. Yeah, okay, fine. Now again we have to repeat these conditions for 0. Don't worry, we don't have to write. We just have to copy. We have to paste. Change this if to elif. And we just have to change or replace all the x over here with the 0. It's that simple. Because button will be the same, pattern will be the same. only the player 0. Okay, it will be 0, not x. So we are done. Let's go ahead and play the game. Alright, so x 0, x 0, x 0, 0 1. Now let's try to do with x x1. Alright, so all the conditions are working. Now what if no one wins? We are out of move. X 0 0. Be careful, you don't have to win this game. Okay. Still, it is not displaying a message game over. So what we can write, we can give one more condition. Elif count equals to 9 will display a message game over. Execute. So game over. Then we have to again restart. So this is it. This was the simple tic tac toe game using the tkinter library. Make sure you can make more changes to this game by tweaking the program according to you.